It was a good fight, like, not bad.
Good fight. Close fight.
No, close fight.
Undisputed light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev completely trashed Dmitry Bivol ahead of their rematch and said that it's not a close fight. Meanwhile, both Bivol and Beterbiev have openly acknowledged each other's strengths ahead of their rematch. Beterbiev praised his opponent's exceptional skill, highlighting what makes Bivol a formidable competitor. In turn, Bivol also expressed his respect for Beterbiev's fighting ability, recognizing the attributes that make him such a dangerous fighter.
Boxing skills, like, you know, he's smart. He's good boxer. Power.
Known for being one of the most feared knockout artists in boxing, Beterbiev has consistently remained humble throughout his career. In a recent sit-down, he took the opportunity to share his thoughts on his knockout power.
If you compare with the statistic, yes, me, but I don't think so too.
Artur Beterbiev has started preparing for a potential rematch against Dmitry Bivol, pushing himself to the limit and working tirelessly to take his performance to the next level. In a recent clip circulating online, he can be seen entering beast mode after an intense training session in the gym, showcasing the dedication and grit he's putting into his preparation. As fight day approaches, Beterbiev has promised to deliver one of the finest performances of his career for his fans. At the same time, Bivol has expressed that Beterbiev has undeniably proven himself as the top knockout artist before their first fight.
He has 100% knockouts before the first fight.
The first fight between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol has sparked divided opinions. While Beterbiev secured a decisive victory, many believe it was Bivol who actually deserved the win. Recently, Beterbiev sat down with Showbiz the Adult in the Ring podcast to share his perspective on the outcome of their first fight, offering a humorous opinion on people's judgment.
I'm sure if I'm not win this fight, they never give me this fight, you know.
Right. Right.
It's, you know, there is no my uncle's judges, you know.
Right.
Artur Beterbiev secured a decision victory over Dmitry Bivol in their first matchup. The results have been met with differing opinions, with some believing Bivol should have been the winner. Among those voicing their support for Bivol was David Benavidez, who also leaned in favor of the Russian fighter, adding to the debate surrounding the fight's outcome.
I thought Bivol won that fight, to be honest with you. It was a close fight. It could have went. Couldn't have won either way. I feel like Bivol won most of the rounds. He controlled most of the rounds, and his combination punching was better.
On the other hand, Artur Beterbiev firmly rejected this opinion, clearly expressing his view on their first fight. He confidently stated that it was not a close contest, emphasizing his belief that the victory was decisive and beyond debate.
It was a good fight, like, not bad.
Good fight. Close fight.
No, close fight.
Coach Joel Diaz also shared his thoughts on their first fight. After informing that he was watching the bout, he expressed his belief that Bivol had the upper hand, leaning in favor of the Russian fighter for the win in their initial matchup.
I had Bivol because we were watching the fight and we're focusing on it because we knew it was a tough fight, and everybody knows that Beterbiev is very strong and he can hurt you with any punch. But up to the seventh round, I had Bivol winning the fight.
Furthermore, Joel Diaz offered advice to Dmitry Bivol ahead of the rematch with Beterbiev. He acknowledged the strength of Beterbiev as an opponent, but emphasized that if Bivol can close the gap and control the distance, he could perform better in the second bout.
See a lot of things that Bivol can do. Hit, because we know that we have a strong fighter in front of me. You know, throw combinations, hit, and when he's about to start unloading on me, just close the gap, get inside, close, and don't let him unload. Instead of moving back, you know, because you got the momentum moving, he's moving after you. So he's throwing punches. But if you just step in, close the gap, stop the action, you can work. And when he's about to work, close the gap and don't let him work.
Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol are both set for their highly anticipated rematch, each expressing confidence ahead of fight night. In addition to their statements, Bivol made it clear that he has no concerns about the outcome of their previous encounter, focusing solely on the challenge ahead.
Into the rematch, are you more confident than you were for the first fight, or the same?
Same.
Dmitry, are you more confident or the same?
Doesn't matter. I don't care what happened before. I just new fight, a new challenge.
Renowned boxing analyst Russ Anber has weighed in on the upcoming rematch, expressing concerns about whether Beterbiev has improved since their last bout. He pointed out that the world has yet to see Beterbiev at his peak, but believes the fighter has likely evolved and will be in better shape this time.
How much more he can improve on his performance. I think he boxed an excellent fight. I'm not sure what alternatives he can come up with, but I do believe that Beterbiev can improve on his last performance. I don't think we saw Beterbiev at his best.
Russ Anber reflected on the last bout between Dmitry Bivol and Beterbiev. He thinks Beterbiev was conservative in his last battle. He said, "I think he had surgery on the knee. He wasn't coming back. You know, he wasn't as forceful as he usually is. He seemed to be a lot more conservative. I personally gave him the edge at the end of the fight. I thought he closed out the last 3 rounds quite solidly. I thought he showed that he was able to hurt Bivol. I think he can improve on his performance." Russ Anber went on to suggest that Dmitry Bivol will need to come up with something special to improve his performance this time and effectively handle whatever Beterbiev brings to the table. At the same time, he praised the fight, highlighting that this initiative is a great step forward for boxing.
Bivol's going to have to come up with something. He's going to have to pull something out of the hat to come up with a better performance than overtake whatever Beterbiev brings to the table. So, but at least it's a great fight. At least the rematch is made, and that's great for boxing.
Showbiz the Adult has also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight. He reviewed Beterbiev's previous bout with Bivol, noting that Beterbiev had the best opportunity to land his powerful punches, but wasn't able to capitalize on it. He said, "I had an interview with Beterbiev. I asked him a question and he laughed. I knew what that laugh meant. I think that Beterbiev's best chance to beat him was that fight. He was out for some time and he was coming back from a knee repair. I think Beterbiev couldn't put pressure on that foot to deliver the power he usually delivered. I'm telling you, that was his best opportunity. Beterbiev was knocking everybody out right until then, and that was his fight back from his knee." Artur Beterbiev's coach, Mark Ramsey, recently shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch with Dmitry Bivol. Reflecting on their previous encounter, Ramsey mentioned that Beterbiev had difficulty landing a clean shot. However, he firmly asserted that this time, Beterbiev will inflict much more damage on Bivol.
Because the first fight, we really beat him up like physically. Like you say, but it was never like really clean punch that we are able. He came. We have to give him that. He came with a very strong, tight defense in that fight, and we was not able to really like make him do a bad move and catch him right on the chin or right. Majority of the punch was on the guard and outside of the straight punches, straight right. It was hard to catch like very clean. I think we can do a way better job at this, using the right angle and the right punch at the right moment. And of course, it will do a lot.
With just a few days left until the highly anticipated rematch between undisputed champion Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, Mark Ramsey emphasized the progress of his fighter's preparation. He confidently assured that Beterbiev is fully ready to deliver an action-packed performance this time. He said, "In the training, we have momentum. We have a point, like we recuperate Artur not from zero, but also he's coming back from a fight. We're going back to the gym. We keep working on the little details that we want to improve, and we see Artur keep improving as a boxer, and it's great because we always in the past were like good performance and now out and for injury or some stuff like this and come back and have to redo again and again now. We just recuperate from fight to fight. It's good momentum right now." Mark Ramsey revealed that Beterbiev consistently approaches each of his fights with a serious commitment. He assured that Beterbiev is at the peak of his motivation and will prove himself to be the best when he faces Bivol.
It's fun because, to be honest, like of course, like all fighter won those belts, but it's not the major point with Artur. He take that very personal, not in term of against Bivol, but he take for himself. Like I told you, he know he can do better, and he want to do better, and this is what he's gonna show the next fight. He self-motivate very easily.
Spencer Brown has shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight. Despite admitting that Beterbiev is a very hard man to beat, he went on to favor Bivol.
Main event of the evening, Mr. Beterbiev against Mr. Bivol.
Bivol.
I think Bivol won the first one, Spencer.
So
After watching it
by
back.
2 rounds.
I had 7-5.
2 rounds then.
Yeah, I had exactly the same.
So I think Dmitry Bivol will come. He's a very hard man to beat, though. Beterbiev's a hard man to beat, isn't he? But
Anthony Yarde has shared his prediction for the rematch between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. Reflecting on their previous encounter, Yarde highlighted the key factors that could determine the outcome. He emphasized that for Beterbiev to deliver more damage to Bivol in this fight, he must capitalize on specific strategies.
I do think Beterbiev won the first fight. It was a close fight. People will start saying stuff about robbery. I don't know about all that. It was a very, very close fight. Could have went either way. And the second fight, I see Beterbiev winning again, if I'm honest. But this time, if he goes to the body a bit more, I think he can cause more damage.
Roy Jones Jr. has now shared his breakdown of the contest, pointing out some key factors. Roy believes Beterbiev's usual aggression could benefit both fighters, allowing Bivol to land counters. But if Beterbiev plays it cautious, Bivol could edge the fight as he nearly did last time. Speaking to the Ring magazine, he said, "I think it's going to be another great fight, another epic fight. I'm thinking Artur is going to be more Artur this time, which could be good for him, or it could be bad for him, because when you go for the kill on Bivol, it gives Bivol the chance to hit you with those counters. But when you don't go for the kill on him, you give him the chance to edge the fight out like I thought he did the first time, or be a draw. We'll see what happens. I think Artur learned a lot from it. I'm sure Bivol learned a lot from it too." Dave Coldwell also weighed in on this potential fight. He reflected his thoughts on their previous fight and asserted that this time, Beterbiev would give a tough time to Bivol.
Beterbiev didn't go to the body in the first fight until later on in the fight, and I was like, I think it was with Callum Simpson, who was working for Sky, and it was with Callum Simpson, I think, and I was like, he's not gone to the body at all, and that really surprised me. I think this time round, I do think that Beterbiev will go to the body earlier, so it could make it a harder fight for Bivol. But then Bivol will have that more confident about him because he's been in there, he's tasted that power of Beterbiev, and he now knows, rather than thinks he can beat him, he now knows that he can hang with the power.
Billy Dennis also shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch. He confidently picked Beterbiev to win this fight and highlighted his fighting attributes. He said, "This time Beterbiev is going to knock him. He's going to get that stoppage. You know, you have to fight with Beterbiev. If you can't box him, you've got to be very fit and very, very clever to outbox someone like that. The pressure, the cutting the ring off, he does all this. Because I've been there sparring him, he does not stop. The pace doesn't slow down, so you've got to stand there and give him something to think about." I think Beterbiev is going to try and do that, and that's why he's going to get caught in the crossfire, and then that's where it's going to be night-night. Andre Dirrell has also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Bivol and Beterbiev. He praised Bivol for his exceptional fighting skills and went on to describe his style as the finest example of Soviet boxing. Dirrell confidently predicted that Bivol would come out on top in the rematch.
Bivol is so great with his hands and feet. He has that Soviet style boxing down to a T. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to stay long. He knows how to find them shots, right? He knows how to be in and out, tricky, fake coming in. Second you shoot, he right back out, and he come with a counter most of the time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got Bivol.
Teofimo Lopez also shared his thoughts on this rematch. He thinks the outcome would be the same and predicted that Beterbiev would go to hurt Bivol this time. He said, "I think the same outcome. Hopefully Bivol does better than the first time. I think Beterbiev is going to hurt Bivol this time around, but kudos to Bivol, man. He boxed very well, but he just didn't show enough grit in the last championship rounds. It's a great fight." David Benavidez shared his prediction for the rematch, stating that unlike many who expect a similar outcome, he isn't sure of the result. However, he confidently predicted a win for Bivol. He said, "I think Bivol wins. Both these fighters are high caliber fighters, so they can make adjustments. I don't know if it's going to be the same fight or not, but if it's the same fight, I feel like Bivol wins." Artur Beterbiev's sparring partner, Callum Simpson, also weighed in on the upcoming rematch. He predicted that the fight would unfold similarly to their first encounter, favoring Beterbiev. Simpson went on to forecast that Beterbiev would secure a stoppage against Dmitry Bivol Bivol in the 7th or 8th round.
The fight will go similar to how it went, but I'm hoping from round 7-8, Beterbiev will step, put his foot on the gas and get the late stoppage.
British boxer Joshua Buatsi also weighed in on the rematch between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, suggesting that the outcome would likely mirror that of their previous encounter. He said, "Obviously the rematch between Beterbiev and Bivol, like Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, I think it will be similar. I think it will be a fight that will be nip and tuck, and again I can see opinions differ at the final bell as to who they see won." Joshua Buatsi reflected on their previous bout, emphasizing that Dmitry Bivol needs to be more dominant in the rematch. He also pointed out that their last fight was a close contest.
I think in the second half of the fight he laid back a little bit, so be a bit more dominant, show us that, you know what, he's still winning the rounds. But listen, it was a very, very close fight, but we're looking forward to the second one.
Jose Benavidez Sr. also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight, predicting that it could yield the same result as their previous bout. He expressed his belief in Bivol's abilities, suggesting that he has the potential to win again. He said, "I think it's going to be kind of the same fight. It's going to be a really close fight. We've seen everything. Both of them were trying to do the best that they could. Both of them, the styles, you know, kind of work for each other, and I believe in the first 5 rounds, Bivol won. I think in this fight, I think Bivol can win again. He's a little bit faster. He has more movement, you know, and Beterbiev, you know he hits hard probably, so I think I see the same fight." So that was all for today. Let us know in the comment sections below, what are your thoughts on this rematch? While some of the analysts think Bivol won the first fight, we would like to know, what is your take on their last fight? Do you also think it was a close fight? Share your predictions along, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell icon now so you never miss an update.